this meeting of City Commission to order and begin, as is our practice, with a moment of silence. If you can all join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you call the roll.
Actually, introduce the.
Pardon?
Introduce the.
Well, I had that next, but that's okay. If the interpreter wants to make her way forward as we're calling the roll, she can introduce herself, and we provide translation services from Spanish to English and vice versa.
Okay. Commissioner Sassi?
Present.
Commissioner Robbins?
Present.
Commissioner Perdue?
Present.
Commissioner Knight?
Present.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Here.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Present.
Mayor LeGrand?
Yes.
My name is Sandra Nickel, and I'm here to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish if there's a need to. Feel free to come up. Mi nombre es Sandra Nickel. Yo estoy aquí para interpretar y traducir cualquier cosa que se diga de español a inglés o de español a inglés, y estoy aquí para servirles.
Thank you. Next, we have public comment on agenda items. So anyone wishes to be heard on an item that's on the agenda can feel free to come on up and speak to that for a 3-minute time period. Seeing no one, I will ask for approval of the last 2 meeting minutes. Can I have and I think we can consolidate those safely. Can I have a motion?
So moved. Support.
All in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. Brings us to petitions and communications.
Communication received from Jane Griffin and Tom Sharino with 3 letters of support and reimbursements from the June 13th, 2024 water main break.
Received and filed.
Communication received from Dan Hibma regarding housing.
Received and filed. And that brings us to report of city officers.
The city clerk submitted the City of Grand Rapids General Retirement System Annual Actuarial Valuation Report ending June 30th, 2025.
Received and filed.
A comptroller's warrant report for the period of November 4th, 2025 through November 17th, 2025 in the amount of $27,402,640.67.
Received and filed.
A treasurer's report for period of November 5th, 2025 through November 18th, 2025.
Received and filed. That brings us to our consent agenda, and to refresh everyone's collective memory, these are items which passed unanimously out of committee and were not flagged by any commissioner for discussion despite a unanimous passage. So I'd ask for a motion.
So moved. Support.
All in favor of passing the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
They're all opposed. Motion carries. There being no items removed from consent, this brings us to a number of ordinances. First is regarding a 411 Fuller project.
An ordinance amendment correcting the legal description of a portion of 411 Fuller Avenue rezoned to the TN-TBA zone district.
Can I have a motion?
Support.
Commissioner Sassi.
Yes. This item is from November 28th, when we set today as a date to consider this ordinance. And on June 29th of the same year, we adopted an ordinance rezoning the northeasterly 25.74 feet of 411 Fuller Avenue Southeast from traditional neighborhood low-density residential zone district to the traditional neighborhood traditional business area zone district. And this was to facilitate a lot split and recombination for future residential development. This was really an item that is coming before us because of a legal description, so.
Thank you. Any discussion, colleagues? Seeing none, I call for a roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Perdue?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Sassi?
Yes.
Mayor LeGrand?
Yes. That brings us to our next item, which is a salary ordinance.
A salary ordinance for non-represented management employees of the 61st District Court.
And can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. This item came before us this morning at our fiscal committee. Just real quick, so for non-represented management employees of the 08S, 09S, 10S, 11S, and 13S ranges, they'll have 5%, 4%, and then another 4% increase effective July 1st, 2025, and then respectively same date 2026, 2027. And then for employees of the 14S range, it's a 4%, 3.5%, and then 3% increase on those same dates. And then people might notice July 1st, 2025 is in the past, so they'll have the difference retroed back to their first paycheck after that date.
Thanks. Any discussion, colleagues? Seeing none, ask for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Perdue?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes. Can I have a motion for immediate effect?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, motion carries. That brings us to our next salary ordinance.
Salary ordinance amending section 4.2 of ordinance 2025-31, range and title change for the parking services ship supervisor and parking operations superintendent, and creation of a new classification, parks planning and project manager.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Commissioner Knight?
Thank you. This was also discussed earlier at fiscal, looking at mobile GR, reclassifying parking services ship supervisor and parking operations superintendent to come into alignment with current industry standards. That's it.
Thank you. Any discussion, colleagues? Seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote on this issue, too.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Perdue?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes. Can I have a motion for immediate effect?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. And that brings us, having no city commission resolutions, to a series of public hearings. And Ms. Renero is coming up, I believe, I hope, for a public hearing for a Brownfield Plan amendment for the Seeds of Promise redevelopment. And I know that Mr. Thomas is here also. I'm assuming that she will give us an overview. Ms. Renero.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we have Reginald Thomas and Jared Belka here on behalf of the project. I'll quickly give you an overview here and then invite them up to talk about why the project's important. This is redevelopment of 13 different parcels for single-family homes, which are called smart homes, and I'm going to let Reginald talk about those. These are across, they're across 13 parcels. There's 14 homes. One of the parcels will be split, and there is a variety of incomes and sizes of houses that we're looking at in this project, which I like. You can see 1, 2, and 3 bedroom ranging from 80% AMI up to 120 for the income restriction over the life of the Brownfield plan being 25 years. We have $3.8 million in total development costs and about $1.2 million of those in Brownfield eligible housing activities. I wanted to just mention on the inclusion plan, the 17% or about $286,000 of the investment for micro-local, women-owned, and minority-owned contracting subcontractors, as well as 100% for the professional services, which is lovely to see. Forgive me, I just want to cross-check my. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to note. There was a $200,000 Brownfield redevelopment revolving fund loan towards this project, also recommended by the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. This is to help buy down the mortgages for the 7 that are at 80% AMI, and unique for the BRA, and we really prioritize for sale housing for that fund when we infuse these kinds of dollars. So just want to call some attention to that. Happy to take any questions, but first I want to invite Reginald and Jared up to talk about the project. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I wanted to say good evening, but these 2 p.m. ones are always a treat. So thank you guys for the opportunity to be here. I'll be brief and let the man behind this vision speak. But David Allen with Innova Lab has really kind of helped drive this project forward. He apologized that he wasn't able to be here. He woke up this morning feeling very ill, and he's hoping it's nothing worse than maybe a one-day illness. But he can speak to this far more eloquently than I can, so I'll try to do it justice. But he's really led the charge with Regional on this project to try to bring a flexible financing that can provide infill housing in a different approach than your traditional stick build. So these are pre-manufactured homes built to the highest standards in order to go into the mortgage market and everything. But within, just to kind of give an example of delivery, I may misspeak a bit, but my understanding is once the foundation is laid, that the building can be turned over with keys within 45 days. This is not traditional. I think everybody can appreciate in a traditional construction approach. So this is an infill project, one that Regional can talk from the seed standpoint, has been a passion project for them. And it wouldn't be possible without the support. Staff at both the land bank and economic development have been great, trying to find a unique approach to help make this project work. One approach that David had negotiated was the homes are being supplied by Champion. They will actually hold payment on those homes until they're sold, which obviously helps with the underlying financing. So this has a unique capital stack, which obviously our request before you today is a big part of. We've also been working with IFF on some of that TIF funding as well as MISHDA. So a unique approach to provide housing to the community, for sale housing. I know you've seen many multifamily projects, but this is a unique one that can provide, that 80 to 120 range for sale. So I'll turn over to Regional, but happy to answer any questions along the way.
Thank you. Thank you, Jared. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. When I look at the city mission and vision, which is a guiding document or statement for us, it states that the City of Grand Rapids' mission is to elevate the quality of life through city services, while its vision is to be nationally recognized, equitable, and welcoming city with a robust economy, safe and healthy community, and high quality of life for its residents. We've done that here. We're doing that here. Thank you very much. A couple of other notes that I want to add that I think are really important to know is that we're also asking our residents and our community to live up to those standards. We want to be better partners in the community as a bottoms-up organization. We're going to continue to encourage the leaders in our community and residents to also raise their standards as well. Three out of the 14 homes will be designated to low-income residents. We also want to do something very special in this city. I've got a lot of friends in here, including Chief Winstrom, Mr. Washington, Sarah, so many people in here. When I look across the dais, Kelsey and Marshall, et cetera, Lisa. We want to designate one of these homes to a law enforcement officer in the county or one of their family members, because on one street, on Alexander Street, we're going to fill every current vacant lot. And we want a police officer or a law enforcement family member of a law enforcement personnel, and we also want a family who have been the victim of violent crime or an individual to purchase a home on the same block. And we've got a year-long plan of doctors, mental health professionals, bankers, and et cetera, that are going to use this as a pilot project and case study of what we're able to do here in West Michigan. That's just the start. If you think we're doing something in housing, just wait what you see coming in regards to public safety. We want to lay the foundation so that we can live our mission and our vision. Thank you. I do want to also say Todd is here if you wanted to make a couple of statements from Innova Lab, along with Jared, a critical partner here. But I just wanted to give him the opportunity as representing a major player in this project, an opportunity to also share, especially in Dave's absent.
Good afternoon. I don't have much additional to share, other than if you have questions on the houses. My name is Todd Van Ecken from a Novolab Development Group. We will be building, installing the houses, so if you had any questions on the houses, poor Jared was up here, kind of left by himself. I don't think he realized I was going to be here in David's stead. You know, David's been working on this with Reginald now for 1 or 2 years.
2.5.
2.5. So they've been working hard on trying to get this put in place, but if you have questions on the houses, that's what I'm here for. Other than that, I'll stand down. Thank you.
I wanted to say one more thing. 4 of the 13 parcels are land bank lots. So we have an option that is executed. It was executed recently, so they've got a year to perform, which fits within the timeline that they are indicating in their Brownfield plan for construction.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks. Any members of the public want to come up and make comment? Now is your opportunity.
Hello, D. Jones here. Love the project. That's all I gotta say.
Any,
Yes, Aiden Wysocki. I live on Lake Drive, and I grew up just down the street on Argentina, close to Alexander Street, and I think this is definitely a great project. I'm in full support of it. Great use of the Brownfield plan. Saw the renderings as well. It seems like most of these are going to be for under $250,000 on the market, and definitely fitting a lot of the needs that Grand Rapids has right now for housing and affordable housing. So definitely in full support. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Mark from Grand Rapids. I too support this project. These are supposed to be manufactured homes, basically, so as to be like building the factory and set on site to put it together, if I'm not mistaken. Low income, I like the idea. These properties are going to be energy efficient. Now, are they going to be all electric, or half electric, or half gas? That's what I want to know. Because once again, this is Michigan, and when power goes out, you have the mercy of the electric company. That's what I want to know from this project here. Thank you.
Seeing no one else, colleagues? Commissioner Belchak.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, public comment, folks. We're kind of doing things a little out of order from what I'm used to, but I do kind of want to hear a little more about the homes since we have our experts here. Why do you call them smart homes? What do they entail? How these look different than when you think of a regular old-timey manufactured home? Give us a little bit of an impression on that, I guess.
Sure. Our biggest battle probably in this industry is the idea of the mobile home park, where you see the 1960s trailer where they remove the wheels. These are not that. The picture is really a great representation of them. They are called smart homes because they are built in a manufacturing facility. Some of the build specifications are different. For example, you'll see in a site-built home, you'll have nail holes that put up drywall. In these units, the drywall will be glued, so you don't have nail holes. A lot of the problems you run into with site-built, we don't necessarily experience. Don't get me wrong, they're not perfect. They do have great energy ratings. And quite frankly, probably the smartest part of it is we install these incredibly fast. We just finished a neighborhood, 7 houses that we did in 45 days, and those actually were modular homes, which are Michigan Residential Building Code, as opposed to MH Advantage homes. So the difference between MH Advantage and a site-built or a Michigan Building Code is MH Advantage houses are built pursuant to the federally standardized HUD code. The HUD code is then upgraded with roof lines and additional building aesthetics and materials to make them what they call MH Advantage. They created this product through Fannie Mae for the purpose of financing. So where a traditional mobile home you couldn't finance hardly at all, these are financed by Fannie Mae using 30-year mortgages, just like what we call standard on-site built house. I would also say that when they are appraised, appraisers are required by Fannie Mae to use stick-built housing as a comparable as opposed to a mobile home. So they're similar, they're easy to install, but their quality is much, much greater.
So in general, you would liken these to a stick-built home, regular traditional home. It's just the manufacturing process is faster, more convenient, et cetera.
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure to Alicia's question, the resident response to your question of why they're smart also is the fact that they were specific to the request of our residents and the needs in our community. They're measurable because we've identified the number of homes that we will build throughout the city. And they were attainable. That was very important to our residents. We mentioned the pricing for these homes. They're relevant, and we have a project timeline.
Just a small addition to that. I think typically when you think smart home, you're thinking, the lights, you can tell them to come on, you can program all that stuff to happen. I think that's what she was leaning towards, Commissioner.
I was wanting to know why it was named that way, but if it was because of that or because of another reason, I made no assumption. But yeah, thank you for clarifying.
Yes, and then this is, I'm all about infill and housing. I just want to caution, and I think some of you know, and this was brought up when they approached Brownfield, that I have a daughter that had a home that was very similar to this, but she also had a realtor that was working with her very closely on a lot of the things that did not necessarily go as planned. And so just want to make sure that community members that are engaged with this, because her process wasn't 4 months. It was much longer than what they had predicted. So even giving people the idea that, in 4 months you're going to be able to move into a house, I think we need to be really careful about putting that language out there because that's not accurate. And then making sure that people know their rights and their responsibilities. I think this was brought up by Commissioner Kilgore, and people really understanding their rights and what it means to own a home and how to advocate for themselves in this process, because a lot of times you get excited about the new shiny thing, but then you don't know about all the other things that are hiding behind the door. So I just want to put that caution out there, and I'm excited that we're being able to provide more opportunities for our community, but I also want us to be cautious and make sure that our community knows what they're getting into when they get in it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the presentation. It's exciting. And I will now refer this to Committee of the Whole. That brings us to the end of our meeting or near the end, and second opportunity for public comment on any item.
Oh man, the greatest of all time. How y'all doing? I'm D. Jones, and I help Harvard Business School develop their Foundry initiative. I am the only person in this state that actually helped the Harvard Business School develop their Foundry initiative. The first thing I handed you guys was a packet of the impact that we had at the DeVos place. So I brought the largest regional finals, the biggest regional finals in esports in the entire United States. There is no city, there is no state that did it bigger, and you guys have the actual data and impact for that. We brought over 4,000 people out of the 30,000 people that were there at Comic-Con. 4,000 constituents came and actually checked this out. We brought 39 schools, 29 high schools, and 13 colleges. I'm going to give you this data too, Asante. We also brought colleges all across the United States. I literally brought the largest regional finals in the entire United States of America to the poorest city for African Americans, and I'm going to continuously lead. This was only at 50% capacity, and with the schools itself, the high schools and the colleges, we actually brought $41,000 in revenue. That's just them booking hotels and just spending on food. Oh, that's crazy. And then I gave you guys the actual physical plan. We actually have a 3D business plan. Ryan Kilpatrick developed a feasible business plan right there before you. So I'll be happy December 16th when I come to City Hall next time, and then you guys adopt the actual policy for us to 3D print house, because you actually have a feasible business plan right before your eyes. Before you guys even pass a policy, we have a feasible business plan ready to 3D print houses. I'm left-handed too. I want to keep saying that and keep speaking that, because I'm a genius. I'm a natural left-handed genius from Chicago that put the second worst city of America on and going to continuously lead. And you guys will never, ever, ever be able to just down that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the little guy. I am the biggest. I'm a July baby. July 10th. And then I can't wait for you guys to approve the consolidated housing plan June 30th, because then after a couple days on July 10th, it's my birthday. And then I'm going to just continue to see through the cycle of Julys, just continuously just keep building houses and printing houses, and then adding the digital finance aspect to it. I'm just so happy because not only did I create a huge economic impact, I brought the largest regional finals in the entire United States here. Nobody can ever say that D. Jones is not the best, one of the best visionaries and pioneers on this earth. Because I'm going to continue to lead, and it's only going to get bigger. And the crazy thing is our local school district, they sponsored it, but they did not participate. So when I did the activation in the spring and it was 4 students, that's not me. That's an infrastructure problem that I've been working on continuously. Thank you. I got you, Asante.
My name is Hal Fruit from Grand Rapids. I was here when the city went over their report card and their progress reports, the city meeting of the whole about a month and a half ago. I was quite impressed. However, my expectations may be a little bit different. Maybe I expect things to get done a little bit faster, a little better communication. And I'll give you an example. 2 of them, actually. Back on November 5th, myself and a few other people met with the department head and was given a timeline. We asked when a report could be done and given to us. And the department head volunteered a date. And that date was November 10th. November 18th, I spoke with a number of you up on the dais at the commission night out, and nothing has been done yet. November 5th, today is November 5th, and we still have nothing. So again, maybe my expectations are quicker, and maybe I expect more, but I don't know about that. So what I'm seeing here is very little accountability. There's nothing coming back. We can't get emails returned. We can't get phones returned. Now, I've been pretty specific in not mentioning anybody in name, and I don't intend to in public. That's not my goal. My goal is not to embarrass somebody. My goal is to get things working a little bit better and a little bit smoother. The second issue, I sent a number of issues to, again, some on the dais here, and they were brought off to one of the department heads. And this was, again, about a month ago or so. When I asked that department head at one of the city commission meetings what the status was, I was told, well, I don't have a status for you. You get one in a couple of years. This is from a department head. I don't think that's really acceptable, and I don't think that's meeting the scorecard that the city presented a couple of months ago. Now, I do have to say one thing was completed on that. There was a pedestrian safety issue, and that was completed after about a month and a half, and after speaking with some on the dais, and I guess, as I always say, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, in this case, the squeaky wheel got a pedestrian crossing sign put up. But I shouldn't have had to have gone through all that aggravation and all that time, plus the time that those sitting up here had to put into it. It shouldn't have been. So what I'm asking for is a little bit of department, I guess, responsibility. If a department head commits to something, it's their responsibility to make those dates and make that happen. The other thing is there's almost no feedback. If a citizen complains or makes a suggestion, good luck on getting an answer back. Unless you come to a meeting like this or talk to your commissioners, those requests, those ideas end up in Never Never Land, and we don't never know what goes on with those. Thank you.
Mark back again. Slocum, Texas, 1910. The Greenwood subdivisions of Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. And if we're not careful, the opposite end of the state in Dearborn. Why did I say this? You have white nationalist individuals who obviously don't like the Muslim community. And we all know Dearborn has a large Muslim community. You have this individual who's spreading hate, misogyny, and violence in that particular side of the city. And if they're not careful, they would be like the two other communities that I mentioned earlier. They could burn them down, they could burn it down to the ground. I wouldn't put it past these individuals. But that wouldn't have happened if the majority of the Muslim community there elected the orange felon. And I have a message for them. I don't feel sorry for any of y'all who did it, who voted for him. Because this is what you wanted. This is what you're going to get. Now, you have to fight for your lives against these MAGA, white, nationalist people. Somebody has to say it, so it has to be, so it better be me, so it may as well be me. You better get ready to fight for your community. Because if you don't, you might be in serious trouble. And you only have yourselves to blame. Thank you. Boycott Tesla.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Bennett. I'm the business manager of UA Local 174, and up until now, I didn't realize that left-handers were geniuses. So I'm very proud to have learned that here today, and I can't wait to get home and report that to my wonderful wife. I serve as the business manager of UA Local 174, and I also serve as the president of the West Michigan Building Trades Council. My colleagues and I, stand up guys, we have the honor and privilege of representing hundreds of union construction workers in Grand Rapids, the finest craftsmen and women in West Michigan. And we're here today because the first time in any of our careers there's a major development being done in downtown Grand Rapids that's being done exclusively non-union. We understand that projects in the city may not always be 100% union, but we've never had one that was 100% non-union, and it almost seems intentional. There was a time when we reached out to the developer, to the contractor, just to find out that several of the larger bid packages had already been let long before they broke ground and long before the funding mechanism for this development was even approved by voters. That seems intentional as well. What we'd like to know is why. Why is Grand Rapids the only city of its size in the Midwest to turn its back on union construction workers? It's costing our members, your constituents, jobs and opportunities. Union construction workers typically earn 20% more in wages and benefits. They have better health care, secure retirement, access to world-class training, and more opportunities for advancement.
Statistically speaking, union job sites are safer because union workers know they can't be fired for speaking up about safety. Union job sites are also more productive. According to a study commissioned by the Independent Analysis Incorporation, employing union labor creates significant value for owners through lower costs and more predictable schedules. It reduces the risk of major cost and schedule deviations. Through our Department of Labor certified apprenticeship programs, we are also leading the way on diversity. According to the Economic Policy Institute, data shows higher rates of participation of women, Hispanic workers, and workers of color in union-based apprenticeships more than non-union programs. Locally, we're partnered with the Workforce Development Institute to create Access for All, an apprenticeship readiness program providing free training and wraparound services to underserved areas of our community, giving these neighbors a more direct pathway into our apprenticeship programs. Our members are out here doing great work in the community. We do thousands of hours annually of community service work. We give time, money, and labor to try to help our neighbors. We show up at every school district throughout West Michigan whenever asked to educate the next generation about opportunities in these trades. We're good stewards, we're good neighbors, and we're damn good workers. And all we're asking for is when you consider your next development, that we have a voice in the room, a seat at the table, which will lead to boots on the ground. Thank you.
Yes, it's Aiden, and I was reading through the packet for this meeting. I saw that there was a report from Bowen Research about the needs for housing in our area, and just one key point that I saw in there, and I wanted to just bring to this board's attention, and also our community development team, is that there's a need for housing for disability, and specifically it's for seniors in the age group of 75 and older. Just that there was identified that there aren't many options for people who require activities of daily life and assisted living. I've just been to Holland, and I've got a few friends there who live in assisted living, and it seems like they have several options. But then you come to Grand Rapids and you look around and you don't see as many of these options here. And so I just want that to be considered when we look at multifamily housing, that there's only 303 units that are for disabilities and for people with disabilities, even though 44% of people over the age of 75 in Grand Rapids live with at least one disability. That was the only thing I wanted to bring to the attention today.
Thanks. Seeing no other members of the public, that brings us to comments from my colleagues. Commissioner Robbins?
Nothing this time, thanks. Have a great night.
Commissioner Knight?
Not a whole lot, just grateful for some of the work that's being done. I saw a lot of opportunities for businesses and organizations to really support each other in the community, as we're talking about supporting some of our minority businesses in their efforts to scale up their businesses and how we can partner together with them, plus the other opportunities for financial investment for businesses who are ready to go to that next level. I think I want to see more of that connectivity in the community in these things, because it seems like we're all kind of overlapping one another in those spaces, and how can we connect better to continue to better support our community. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Commissioner Kilgore?
Yeah, just my thoughts of very happy to see new development for housing within the Third Ward. That's wonderful. I know best practices and research tells us that we need housing at all levels, but the constant conversation that I have with our neighbors is truly affordable housing. I'm really hopeful. I met with two developers, the son and dad team, and it was great. They were talking about being the 80 to 120 percent of AMI, building for those groups of folks. And I feel like we continue to see that group represented, right? And if the best practice is for us to have housing at all levels, I'm hopeful that we as a body can really encourage our community to build for more affordable. I really have not seen that yet. I know it's hard for developers, right, to break even, to make some type of money from their projects if they really only focus on affordable housing. And I know we're one part of that, right? They also have to receive incentives from the state, other levels of government. But I'm hoping that can continue to come before us, because I have not seen enough of that where we are really looking into the missing middle and folks who are not making anywhere near 60, 50,000. That's just not the neighbors who continue to come to me and talk about the need for housing in our community. So I'm happy to see any type of housing, but I'm hoping we can stay focused, right, on something that seems to be missing. We say all levels, but yet I continue to see sort of the same. These are, to a lot of our neighbors, high earners, right? They're not seeing these numbers on their paychecks. So happy to see the housing that we've got, but I want to keep sounding that alarm. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. The mayor and I were able to pass out close to 100 turkeys with the Girls and Boys Club and McDonald's. I've already got my email prepped to ask them for more. It's McDonald's, for God's sakes. They can do maybe 200 next year. It's McDonald's. They've got McDonald's money. And so, just to once again, talk about the need for affordable housing. That's what I'm hearing over and over again. And our community partners like Baxter Community Center, I said this last meeting, but I'm going to continue to say it. So they saw a 100% increase in their need for their marketplace, for their pantry. If you're able to donate money, if you're able to donate time, the Baxter Community Center needs volunteers as well. Please do. This holiday season, there's a lot of giving, there's a lot of money being spent, but our neighbors need a hand up this season. So we can do our part up here by continuing to pour into affordable housing and different ways to just help neighbors out. That's what I'm focused on right now. So hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Commissioner Sassi?
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have very much today either. It was a good day after a long break, but I just wanted to highlight the fact that a number of us, including city staff, were able to go to the Grand Rapids African American Museum and Archives event 2 weeks ago now, and we were able to be joined by the GRPS school system, where they awarded Mr. Cleo Cross his long-awaited diploma. And so if you don't know that story, it is one of the stories that's in a city within a city, but really highlighted the discriminatory actions that were taken during that time, where Mr. Cross was forced, and he didn't, but he was being told he wasn't going to graduate if he didn't, shave his facial hair. And so it's a reminder that story wasn't all that long ago. I know a lot of people in community who were graduates of South High, and just kind of hearing that story. So I think it was a reminder, especially in this environment where we're dealing with a lot of, backlash against recognizing the realities of racial disparities, whether they exist. We were talking about housing, we were talking about business earlier, and really the efforts that this city has engaged with. And so I'm glad that we haven't gone away from that, and that we continue to use data and science and that understanding to drive the decision makings, and that in that targeted universalism is a better community for all people in Grand Rapids. So I was just moved by that event. It was a long event, but it was a really good event. And so just encourage you all to take a look at that if you haven't. And then just a reminder that there are a lot of organizations that are, here. Commissioner Kilgore, you highlighted some of the needs in our community. It seems like the need is so much greater if you're able to, whether it's supporting a small business or supporting a local nonprofit that does good work in our community. I won't name any, but just think about what's your way, and whether it's a time or treasure to give. I just think a lot of individuals are experiencing some uncertainty now, and whether that's and then on the city side, we've had some of our reviews with our water system and with our trash or our materials management system, and ways that we can help support if you're needing that designation. So just encourage people to help each other during the season. Thank you.
Thank you. Just want to share my congratulations to Seeds of Promise and the whole team. You said 2.5 years ago this process started, and I think that was about when we talked, and I got the full debrief with the team, so it's exciting to see you cross that milestone today. So congratulations, and thank you for your focus in terms of geography and creating neighborhoods of opportunity and increasing the social economic diversity of strong neighborhoods as well. So thank you for that. And happy beginning of holiday season, everyone. I remain available as always and in the process of scheduling my last briefing of the year, so look out for that. But other than that, those are my comments for today. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner Belcher?
Thank you. Yeah, I concur with a lot of what's been said here. I do want to express my gratitude since we just completed Thanksgiving, but I think we're also entering the holiday season that makes us aware of how much care and commitment is in this community, and I really appreciate the comments that people have made around how our neighborhoods and from the street level, the bottom up kind of community that we actually have here and can build. We have a lot of people who want to make life better for people. So thank you to everyone who's doing that. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to the staff. I think that there are things we can do to improve and still continue to, and we're working on that behind the scenes about whether it's communication, whether it's how to get more information out there, how to get people engaged, but we also need people to engage with us. And on that end, I just wanted to mention that I love this idea of ownership as being in the mix of housing as well as renter. We have had a lot of discussions on the west side recently with housing developments and even social services and things like that that are needed. And I do continue to hear concerns in the community. And I want to just address those briefly because I think that we need to remember that we're all in this together. And I know I say that a lot, but I really mean it. When we're looking at new development in neighborhoods, we need to be thinking about what everybody needs, not just what we've done in the last 10, 15, 20, 50 years. When we're looking at where the social services are needed, we need to be thinking about what's needed now and in the future, not just because we've done it the old way. We should put those services where the people already are in the perception. So I'm kind of going out on a limb here because it is holiday season, and I want us to be thinking about how are we supporting our community, whether that's the local organizations, whether it's our neighbor checking in, whether it's the local businesses that we need to support. I think we had a fantastic start to our celebration with our tree lighting and the parade that happened, and I was really pleased to be a part of that, so thank you. But affordability and housing will continue to be the things I'm considering in the future for 2026. And I really want us to lock arms together about that and what we can be doing as we look in our budget going forward.
City Clerk? City Attorney?
Just a reminder to those of you on the FOIA Appeals Committee, we have a hearing this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Thanks for volunteering to stick around a little bit later today to conclude that. We have a tight timeline pursuant to the statute.
City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners, for your work today. Do also want to thank the staff for all the work in preparing for this day. And as Commissioner Belshak and Sassi acknowledged, we had record-breaking attendance at our Santa Parade as well as Turkey Trot this year. So all the employees who were part of the permitting and cleanup and refuse and public safety around those two large events, in addition to everything that was happening downtown, thank you. Our drivers who got us through our first major snow event and plowed streets and took care of some of the important corridors. Thank you for your work. Also wanted to thank the staff for the community night out visit that we had at our last commission meeting. It was very engaging. Appreciate the conversation on public safety. I was very pleased with the conversation today at Economic Development Project Team. We heard the work of the new Community Transformation Fund, and there are over $3.3 million of investment in 8 businesses here in Grand Rapids, as well as the Urban League's report of assisting 14 businesses. So appreciate the partnership of those agencies as well. And lastly, Mr. Howell, if you could see Ms. Behrens at the end of the meeting to get more details about some of the things you were talking about. Thank you.
Thank you. I wasn't going to make any comments, but since our city manager made a positive comment about plowing streets, I will point out that it is not a great time to be a pedestrian in Grand Rapids, and I would love to have a longer conversation at some later point about how we can actually get our sidewalks cleared. But that's for another day. Thanks, everyone, for being here.